Hello, my awesome artists. Let's make a giant paper snowflake. So, first step that you're going to need to know is how to turn this rectangle paper into a square. So we will start with that. To do this project, you're going to need paper, scissors, a glue stick, or tape. I recommend tape. It's faster, but a glue stick will work. And if you have some staples, like a stapler, I would grab it, but please make sure that it is okay with the grown-ups in your house that you were using the stapler. So check with them first. So let's start with the paper. So we need to turn this rectangle into a square. Move that out of the way. So to do that, I need to take my corner of my paper and bring it all the way down until it touches the bottom line here. So I'm going to do that. So it's touching, but I noticed this isn't totally flat, like totally even. So I'm going to tilt my paper. See how I'm turning my paper a little bit until the corner is all lined up and this whole side is connected. So let me show you here. I'm going to flatten that down. So I'm making a diagonal line. So let me show you again. This side of my paper is going to touch the bottom side here. This side and this side will be touching together. So I'm going to pull that corner over. See how that side folded down? And now they're even and I can press it. So once I've pressed that diagonal line down, I have a nice fold. I can cut off this extra rectangle. You can do that by taking a marker or a pencil and drawing a line, tracing down this side of your paper. And then if you need to open it up, you have a perfect line to cut on. So now I'm going to do that. Okay, so now I don't need this rectangle, so I'm going to move it over. Now I have a perfect square. And lucky for us, folding it at a diagonal into a triangle is the first step. So fold it back over. I'm going to fold it again into a smaller triangle. So I'm going to take this long side at the top. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to make these corners touch here. There we go. So now I have a smaller triangle. And this is when I can start cutting. So let me show you here. On one side of the triangle is the longest side. We don't really need to worry about that side right now. The shorter sides, one side we're going to cut and one side we are not. So we're going to cut on the folded side. Right here, there's a nice fold here. But on this side, I can open it. I don't want to cut here. I want to cut on the folded side. Open, don't cut. Folded, cut. So on the folded side, we are going to cut a few lines that go up, but don't cut all the way through. So, for example, I will draw a nice line for you to see. I'll use this marker here. So from the folded side, I'm going to cut here, cut here, cut here, and one more. Cut there. So I've drawn 4 lines. See how the lines go from the folded side up almost to the top, but not quite? That's what we want. Okay, so I've cut all my lines. I'm going to open up my triangle. So now I have this cool shape, this big triangle that has all these other little triangles inside of it. I'm going to open it up even more. Oops. Come on, buddy. Open up. There we go. And now I have this great diamond shape. All right. Then you can see I have all these other smaller diamonds on the inside. But I didn't cut all the way through. If I'd cut all the way through, then they would have come apart, right? So that is step 1, the cutting. Step 2 is to connect these corners together. So this is where you could use your glue or you could use your tape. So I'm going to start with my tape. So I'm going to start by taking the outside ones and overlapping them just a little bit. Can you see that? Overlap. And then I'm going to tape that down. Alright, so there's one. Now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to take the next biggest and flip it the other way. So see, I folded that one that way. I turned it upside down, and I'm folding this one this way. So you can see the different directions, right? And I'm going to tape it again. This side. Alright. And you keep going back and forth like that. So the smaller ones are going to be a little harder to tape. If you would like to work inside to outside, that would be good too. Alright, coming over to this side. I'm going to take the next smallest. If you need a friend to help you hold the paper still while you tape, that might be a good idea. See my fingers in there? There you go. Alright. Okay, and some people like to fold that one and some people don't, so you can leave that last tiny one if you want to. Ta-da! Alright, so that is step 1, you guys. You're going to do this whole set of steps 5 more times. Alright, so I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to take my next paper. I'm going to fold it again to make it a square. Cut off the extra rectangle. Don't need them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, rectangle. Okay. Keep that triangle. Fold it one more time. Okay. Now from the folded side, not from the open side, I'm going to cut 4 times. 1, 2, 3, one more, 4. Open them up. Fantastic. And I'm going to start taping from the inside this time. So I'm going to tape the smallest one. All the way around. Flip it. Next biggest. Flip it. You only need a little bit of tape. Flip it. Flip it. Last time. Okay. There's my second one. I'm going to make 4 more and we'll put them in a circle so they will look like a big snowflake. Okay guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I've made all 6. So now, you could make less than 6 if you want your snowflake to be smaller. I think 6 is a good even number, because then you get 3 points on either side, but that is up to you. So, what I'm going to do now, move all this out of the way, is I'm going to take the points of 2 of them on the end, and I'm just going to put them together. Now, you could use tape to attach them together, just by taping one side over to the other. If that's what you wanted to do, that's totally fine. I would also suggest taping this middle part right here, so just so they don't fall apart. You could make a little roll of tape so it's sticky, on both sides, and then stick it in the middle of them. That might work really well. Or if you have a stapler and have permission to use it, you can grab that stapler, there you go, and staple those 2 together. And it's a little bit stronger than the tape. So now that I've attached 2, I'm going to add another one. I'm going to staple that. Okay, so there's 3. So now I've got 3 together. I'm going to add another one. And I'm just, again, putting all the points on top of each other, just layering them up. There we go. 4. This is where it gets a little tricky because it's hard to, like, get in there. So you kind of have to spin it around and find a good opening. There you go. So see, I'm pinching it with my finger, and then I go in with my stapler and badunk, give it a little staple. One more staple. Here we go. Okay, so now I've got them all stapled in together, and when I spread them out, if you need to fold the middle piece a little bit, there you go, that looks better. Ta-da! Can you see? I know it's kind of hard to see. There's my lovely star. Oh, I think it looks so pretty. If, again, you're having trouble with it staying together, take the middle parts of each little point of your snowflake, tape them together so that they will stick together and it's all like one thing. Now is a good time to add some string to one of the points and hang it from one of the points, maybe in your window or in your room. Oh, they're so fun. If you want to just keep the cool like diamond design, you don't want to put them together, that's fine too. Alright guys, I can't wait to see your awesome paper snowflakes.